On this episode of Custom Fab Garage, we're going to be doing this Chevy C5 Corvette. Customer's brought in all of his own equipment, including a METRA double din dash kit. So we're going to convert this from a din and a half to a double din. Also on top of that, we're going to be doing a Pioneer radio that he purchased, and also all Rockford equipment, including amplifiers, front components, and coaxials that he purchased that he wants to be put into this vehicle. He also purchased a SUNDOWN subwoofer with custom enclosure that we're going to be installing in here as well. The customer also asked us to be able to build a custom amp rack to hide all the wiring so that way it looks, OEM and clean in the back of the hatch when he opens it up. Stay tuned. This is all the equipment we're going to be using that he purchased. This is the custom enclosure that he purchased and the custom SUNDOWN sub that we're going to be putting in the back of here. These are the stock door panels on this C5. This car is in really good shape. This is the stock head unit. We're going to change out this whole entire bezel here with the new METRA piece and change out all that Bose. Everything will be completely gutted and all new, brand new put in. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we got to replace these rear speakers. So I'm going to take out these two tabs. On the other side I've already taken those out. So I'm going to take this whole entire top piece right here completely out. That way we can get to this panel and then we can get these rear speakers out of here. So I'm just going to remove those with my panel popper. Okay, so we have these two removed, but you have to make sure that you take the top out. If you don't have the top out, you won't be able to get it out because this is wrapped around it. So make sure you have the whole top out. And here's the back side. You got to be careful of these clips because these slide up into here, but these clips are super strong. You've got to be super careful of those because it'll try to break that piece in half. Next step, we're going to remove this T50 and also this push tool or push panel piece right here. We're going to take that out and also remove this T50 to get this rear quarter piece out. This is supposed to be a T50, but I got a T45 to end up working better. So if that works better for you, go right for it. There's also a push pin right here that we're going to remove right here to take this whole entire plastic piece off. Okay, we've removed everything. Watch this bad boy right here. It's sunk in right behind here and it'll make it really hard to pull off. You do not want to crack the panel. We took this speaker grill, we just unsnapped it off the front. There's actually a little push pin right here. Got to remove that and then this whole panel will come off. This piece just comes out. We just took our pry tool and we just went in there and it just pops right out. But you will not be able to get it out without removing this. First thing on the door panels we're going to do is we're going to unsnap this. We're going to take our pry tool, go behind, and it's the unclips off. Same way with this. This piece is going to unclip off, and then we're going to take it out and unplug it. Behind here, there's a little panel right here. We're going to pull that off with our panel tool. And then behind here is two supposed T50s, but might work better with the T45. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and show you how that works. Basically the way this thing it just pops out and that's how it sits in there from behind. There are little grooves. If you look down right here, there's little grooves on the top and bottom. I kind of just slid my piece in there and pulled it from the inside and then just started snapping it off from the back side. Okay, we unsnap this piece, comes out just like so. It snaps there and then just goes down from, like, basically pulls out from under there, but that snap is right there. And then here's your clip. You're just going to unclip this and pull this off. And then here's this piece unsnapped. Basically, you can just take your pry tool down there, basically, and that will pop off. And then you're going to have your two T50s it calls for. I'm going to try to do it with the T50, if not T45. And then the whole door panel will be able to just unsnap off. Let me make a revision on this. These are actually T30s that are coming out of here. So down inside of here, these are a T30. I'm actually using a T25, but those two bolts are an actual T30. Here is the back of the door panel. Those are all the snap clips that go onto there, just so you can see. Set that aside over here. And there's the door panel off, and then that's what it looks like behind the door panel. That's the factory Bose speakers. Alright, these are the speakers that are stock with the Bose. We're going to be removing those, the whole entire piece. These are adapter plates that he had purchased, and we're going to cut these out to make it accommodate to fit for right there with our aftermarket speakers. This is the inside of the door panel before, and this is the deadener that he brought to us. I've never heard of it. It is Kilmat. So this is what we're going to be applying today on the door panels. See how that goes. Our actual door, not door panel. So we'll see how that goes. We finished up the Dynamat on the passenger side door. Looking really good. This Dynamat he purchased is actually not too bad. Works really well. Okay, we're underneath the passenger side dash. We've removed this push pin, Here they are, they come out. Just pulled them out with the panel popper. And then there's a 10mm we gotta take out, and we're gonna remove this under panel. This just piece in the kick panel just unsnaps and comes out. That's actually it right there. We removed the passenger seat just to make it easier. Sure, you can figure out how to take out a seat. If you can't, you probably shouldn't be working on cars. So this is what we're gonna do to get up to where the battery is at. That way we can run our OCT gauge all the way down through the car. You also need to unplug this light, and then we're pulling this piece up, which basically just pulls straight up and then pulls out, and then has clips underneath it right there, if you can see those. We're gonna try to get everything out of this side right here. That way we can run the OCT gauge underneath the carpet and everything. Next part, we're gonna take this piece right here off to run that up through. We're gonna go ahead and remove all the 7mm. I've taken these two out, and there's two more on that side, and we're gonna remove this rear speaker. The rear speakers are removed, and the cavities on these are extremely shallow. You're gonna have a yellow and brown on the driver's side, and a light blue and a dark blue on the passenger side. Your light blue is your negative, your dark blue is your positive on that side, your yellow is your negative, and your brown is your positive on this side. We're gonna go with the DD speakers on these rear speakers only because they are shallow mount. These cavities are very, very shallow, so that's the only thing that we can fit in here. Now we're gonna start taking the center console off. I removed 1, 2, 3, 4 screws out of this. It's basically 1, 2, 3, and then 4 to get the armrest part off. Basically, you can take your panel popper tool right here, click this up, and then this piece will pull right up. And then we're going to unbolt these two 10mm here. There's also some Torx, one here and one here we're going to take out, and then we should be able to remove this whole entire dash trim bezel right here. I believe there's also supposed to be a screw here, but somebody's already removed that out of this particular vehicle. So we went ahead and removed these two 10mm back here. I already took those out. They are actually right here. That way we can pull this piece back to clear this from hitting on this when we pull it out. There's also a Torx right here behind this little duct. We pulled that off with our plastic panel tool. Make sure you take this out as well. It's the factory radio. Everything works on it. Okay, I'm reading the METRA instructions because the customer supplied us with this dash kit. We are to supply this black plastic thing right here, and then you put it on and then re-drill 2 1/8" holes because we're going to change the whole pattern of where the HVAC is going to sit. It also states that these have to be removed. So these two plates right here are going to have to be removed, and they look like they're going to be hell to get out of there. So I will let you know how that goes. Well, we cut both of these out using an air saw. Let me tell you, my arms don't feel very good after doing that. I hope that's enough to get the width that we need, but everything is cut out like it's supposed to per the instructions. Now we're going to start doing this brace piece where we have to re-drill the new 1/8" hole, so that'll be the next step. Alright, sorry about this wiring mess, but We actually ran our own wire from the front to the rear. Everything is all ran down this side right here. And we also ran all the RCAs and remote wire down this side. So we got those coming out, all of our speaker wire, which is connected into here, into this harness. This does not have a retained accessory, so we can use the constant yellow and the black, but I actually someone ran an actual new wire for the cigarette lighter that's over to here. So I just ended up tapping off of this because it is accessory. So I'm gonna use that. We gotta plug in our antenna adapter, and like I said, we've got these cut out. I actually wired it before I made our holes, so I'm getting ready to do those holes as well. Just want to get everything all wired up and get all the wires ran. It looks like a mess right now, but we'll get that all cleaned up. Okay, per the instructions here, if you look, it says you drill 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you bolt it into place on the other 2 spots. So if you look at what I've done, that's exactly what I've done. So I bolt there, and then drill here, and then drill here, and then I bolt to this one, and then drill here and drill here, and then that should actually give us our new mounting holes. Okay, now we have drilled this hole, and this hole, and this hole. The only thing I'm noticing is these pegs are a lot bigger than an 1/8 inch. So if you line them up, it's supposed to go in that hole, but it's a lot bigger than an 1/8 inch. Also, it says that you're gonna have to push this back and drill 1/8 inch holes for here and over here. So I'm gonna have to drill those holes and mount screws in there. But I believe what I'm gonna have to do is these top ones are gonna have to be bigger to the size of these pegs right here, because these pegs are definitely not 1/8 inch. So I just want to let you know, I think they messed up on the instructions, but we'll figure that out. All right, so here's what we've done. We drilled these holes out bigger, exactly to the same size as the peg that's in here. We ended up putting the screws in here. Basically, I use a self-tapper in all these, so I self-tap these instead of just drilling the 1/8 inch holes. Self-tapper on this side, same way over here. I drilled this out, and we put the self-tapper over here, which basically was an 1/8 inch hole before when we screwed it in. So it looks super nice. I just hope everything fits with the the depth of this onto the new unit. I'm hoping it will. I'm going to test fit everything and make sure it all works. Okay, so we got the adapter plates sized, fit, everything in on the passenger side. Running the wires out, we drilled a hole here and here to run out for the 3.5 and for the 6.5. Tapped in here, you've got a dark green and a light green. Light green is your positive, dark green is your negative. We're going to clean all this up, get this all back here zip tied in, and then also we're going to go around this whole entire piece just to seal it up with the Dynamat. Okay, we're also going to be doing a reverse camera. So I pulled this down. There is 4. If you look on here, there's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 on this side. T15s. So what we did was we took those Torx out down here. We've already removed those. He brought in his own Pioneer camera, so that's what we're going to attach. Somebody has already modified this. If you see right here, somebody's already done something to it. I'm not quite sure what they've added on, I can't tell, but if you see this green wire right here coming off the reverse signal, that's what we actually tapped into for our reverse lead. Basically, that's going to throw it on. As soon as the reverse light comes on, it's going to throw power to the unit. Now on the Pioneer, you're going to connect that to the purple with white stripe that says reverse gear input. So you want to run this wire to this all the way up to the front. That way it kicks the radio on to turn the reverse lead on. Basically all we did was we tore out the back of it, and we're running the wire all the way up to the front, so that way it connects to the Pioneer head unit. Pretty simple to do. It's actually a pretty nice reverse camera. We're actually going to take it and we're going to clean this up here, and we're going to mount it up into here where he wants it at. Alright, we got the rear view camera stuck up in there real good. I went ahead and heated it up, brought the heat gun over, we heated up the plastic and the 3M tape. Looks real good in there. Everything's all mounted and wired all up. We got this piece back on with the 4 T15 Torx. I'll kind of show you what it does. So when we jump in the car and we put the key in, the radio is going to come on like normal, and then when we put it in reverse, it's going to give us every single thing out there. Looks really nice. Gives you a real nice backup camera added onto the Pioneer unit, and then back to normal whenever it's done. Finished up this door panel, got it all dynamited and the adapter is in. Now just to see how it sounds and how it works. Alright, we've got most of the wires wired up. I made a little amp rack here, cut a little slot in it for this to sit down into. We're getting ready to wire up all the power and grounds. So everything's looking really good. Just got to get that ready, and then we're going to build an amp rack that goes on top of this as well. So a lot of fun with Oct Gauge. This is the sub that he chose, the SUNDOWN 12. So we're going to go ahead and install this into this custom box he also provided. See how it sounds on this ROCKFORD amp. Well, here's the finished system. One SUNDOWN 12, he provided the sub enclosure. We built this custom amp rack right here. Get that all done. Everything in here. Got the speakers installed. Here's the METRA dash kit installed. It looks really nice. We even did a USB over here. It's kind of hard to see. We put a USB drive down in there for them. But looks really nice, sounds really nice. Everything fits really well.